and a one. Welcome, Facebook friends. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. Thanks for being here. And I am here today with Melanie Colwell. Welcome, Melanie.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I'm glad we're doing this. And for those people tuning in right now, Melanie and I are having a conversation. And we're going to sort of call that conversation My Life as an Eating Psychology and Mind Body Nutrition Coach. And I'm going to I would love to know, first of all, so you graduated the training, you said about 3 years ago.
Yeah, just over 3 years.
Now, give us a sense of what your professional life looks like these days. So what are you up to? Give me a day in the life of Melanie or a week in the life.
All right. So since I finished the training, I've had 2 children. So it's been a busy 3 years.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. So my youngest is 9 months old. So I'm working part-time at the moment. So I see clients on Mondays and Saturdays in person. And I also see Skype clients at night once the kids are in bed, which is fantastic for work-life balance with the kids. And, you know, I squeeze in a few things here and there with nap times and have some time with my kids for the rest of the week.
So were you seeing clients before you took the training?
So I was running a Pilates and yoga studio before I took the training, and I'm a Pilates instructor. So I was seeing clients, I was teaching classes, and I was also seeing clients privately for Pilates. And I just had so many questions from people wanting to know what I ate and why I ate the way I ate, and wanting advice on, you know, how to lose weight or tone up. And I actually had a friend who was studying life coaching at the time, and I wonder if there's such a thing as a health coach. You know, I don't want to be a life coach, but this is, I'm kind of like coaching people around their health. I wonder if there's such a thing. And just sort of started Googling and discovered there is such a thing, and looked at all the different options and, you know, sort of nutrition schools and things like that, and landed on your course. And I actually did a year of psychology at uni, my first year of uni. So I've always been interested in psychology. Didn't love it at uni. But when I found your course, it just felt like the absolute perfect blend of my sort of passions with the mind and psychology, and also healthy living and eating. So yeah, I did the course mostly to really help those clients. But funnily enough, I actually sold the studio late last year to focus fully on my coaching. So that was a completely unexpected side effect of the training, I guess. That was not intentional, but ended up getting so sort of into coaching and passionate about coaching that I kind of decided I had to choose between one and the other, and chose the coaching.
Wow, good for you. And what a brave move.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I originally was working in the corporate and threw in my corporate career to open the Pilates studio. So that was sort of brave move number one. So this wasn't a huge jump compared to that. But yeah, it definitely was a big decision, sort of selling that sort of baby, I guess, and going out on my own. Yeah.
I just want to say there's a bunch of people jumping on. Thanks for being here, by the way. I'm interviewing Melanie Colwell about her life as an eating psychology and mind body nutrition coach. And Facebook friends, please feel free to just say hi in the comments section below. Let us know where you're from. Good to see you, Megan, and good to see you, Rachel Gill. So Melanie, do you find that there's a certain kind of client that tends to show up in your universe?
Absolutely. So my focus is actually fertility. So it's probably a bit different to most of the graduates from your course. And the clients that I definitely attract are, you know, you say it in your training, but they all reflect a part of me in some way. A lot of them are sort of where I was a few years ago in my own journey. So women between the ages of sort of 25 to 45, and they've been trying to get pregnant and they're not getting pregnant as quickly as they'd like, or they have some sort of health issue that they want to get sorted before they start trying, or eating issues. Have eating issues that they sort of want to get under control before life. So emotional eating and binge eating, or they might want to lose weight, or they might have some sort of hormonal issue or digestive issue. But yeah, the vast majority of my clients are pre-baby.
What a fascinating specialty. And I love it. Good for you. Give us an idea. Why did you choose that specialty?
Well, where do I begin? So, you know, it's funny. I've had lots of people say that your training was life-changing for them, and people sort of throw that around as a bit of a throwaway comment. But for me, it absolutely was life-changing, both professionally and personally. So, as I said, I was running my and I had become what you would describe a false positive. So from the outside, it looked like I was eating perfectly, and I saw a bunch of naturopaths, and you ask you to put down your diet, and you know they'd all look at my diet and say, "Oh, fantastic! I can't offer any sort of suggestions for improvement." And I thought I was doing sort of fantastically with my eating and exercise and everything, until I sort of stumbled across your work and realized that I was certainly a false positive. While I was doing sort of all of that, I was going through my own fertility struggles. And I come off the pill, and I was sort of expecting to just get pregnant straight away. I was super healthy. I was young. I was only 28. And I didn't get pregnant straight away. And I was since diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And my doctor just sort of said, you know, it doesn't mean you can't get pregnant, but it just means you probably need IVF, which was pretty devastating news, particularly when I expected to just, you know, come off the pill and get pregnant straight away. So that news really sent me into a control freak, basically. I had control freak tendencies prior to receiving that news, but receiving that news really got me so restrictive with my eating, and I became obsessed with fertility and eating to improve my fertility, to the point where I wouldn't allow myself to eat anything sort of unhealthy. And it became this sort of of stress. And I enrolled in the training, and I started reading your book, The Slow Down Diet, and that sort of opened up my mind to a different way of thinking. And I started exploring sort of other ways of being in the world as well as eating. And I reckon it was module 1 of the training that just completely shifted everything for me. Module 2, I got to a place where you're just so different. Like, what's changed? And I had gone with fertility and getting pregnant to quite happy, not happy, but okay if I never even got pregnant. And a month later I was pregnant. So yeah, amazing, absolutely amazing. And since then I've had another baby. And so I'm just so passionate about helping other women in the same situation. You know, I look at what happened to me, and I could have easily have gone down the medical route, you know, followed what my doctor said, gone to, you know, have the IVF appointments and those sorts of things. but I just didn't need it. And I wonder how many women are out there, prematurely. Yeah, I see going through the same struggles that I was going through, and I just love helping those women.
Well, again, I want to say congratulations. And by the way, for those people listening in, IVF, in vitro fertilization, which is clearly not your first choice and generally not the first choice for most people, most couples, most women. And, on one level, it's so simple. When the body is in a stress state, it doesn't want to get pregnant. It's smart to not get pregnant because stress state is interpreted by the brain that it's in survival mode and it's not safe and it's not okay. There's danger, there's something happening in the environment, and especially around food. If we're having restrictive behaviors around food, then the brain's going to go into scarcity around food. So this very primitive reflex called, oh my goodness, the brain is registering no food, problem with food. Don't become pregnant, because the body only wants to reproduce when it has the best chance of survival. So it's so strange how we need to do the opposite of what we think we're supposed to do, which is relax into the issue as opposed to stress into the issue. It's very counterintuitive.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Totally. And the majority of my work really is telling people that in a nutshell. It's easy in theory, not so easy in practice. That's definitely a lot of my work, coaching women to relax into the uncertainty of pregnancy.
Wow, so beautiful. So let me ask you this: since you've been seeing clients in this way, have there been any, I want to say, surprises for you, and positive surprises in terms of something you've learned on the job, something you've discovered as you started coaching clients in this realm? Something I've learned that I didn't expect that's pretty cool is...
So completely separate from the fertility, I think, I'm quite comfortable in that area and seeing those clients, but I started seeing a grandmother in her 60s for anxiety, which was just completely out of the blue. And it was a colleague who referred her to me, and I said, oh, this is not my usual sort of client. This is not my usual thing. I said, okay, we can, have a session and, see what we sort of think of each other, and we can go from there. Sort of not really thinking it would really go anywhere. And she's been one of my best clients. We get on so well, and she has just absolutely flourished. She says that I've changed her life. So she had crippling anxiety, and she had seen a bunch of different psychologists, and she'd been on medication, and she's seen all sorts of people. And it was just through the work that we've done together that she has really got her life back. So that has certainly been a surprise.
Mm-hmm. That's such a long distance from a fertility challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And isn't it interesting how the universe sends us the right people, and it sends us to them? Really, there's, sometimes I really believe there's a magic to it that we just can't explain, and it's hard to predict. And then a client like that, to my mind, teaches us something, and all of a sudden you have a new skill. You might know how to talk differently to a person in that age group. You might understand women in that age group better. So here you've, expanded what you can do and who you can help just because of this wonderful chance experience.
Absolutely. And the other thing is there are a lot of parallels between her and my other clients, which I didn't expect. So she's sort of experiencing the same sorts of issues as many of my other clients, even though obviously she's not having fertility issues, but many of the same issues have come up, and there's certainly issues that I've worked through personally. So I definitely see myself in her as well, which is really cool.
Wow. Melanie, I just want to tell you, Rachel, who's listening in, said, thank you for sharing. This so touches my heart. And Megan shared, what an amazing career. I'm so impressed. So these are just some of the comments coming through. And if you're online listening, feel free to say hi. Let us know where you're from. Feel free to comment. What keeps you inspired to do this work? What makes you get up in the morning and go, wow, I want to do this again?
It's some of the people that I meet. I just love helping women in my situation, or helping all women, but you have to sort of narrow it down, don't you? You can't help everybody. But just sort of meeting someone with an issue and knowing that I can help. Amazing them through sort of the process and helping them with their transformation, and then seeing the changes in them is just incredible. It's such a gift.
How do people find you?
I think I've really barely done any advertising or marketing. People just seem to find me. I do need to get onto that. But where I consult in person is at an allied health SA integrated therapies in Adelaide. So that's a centre. There's an acupuncturist there, and a physio and other professional therapists. So most people sort of find me through there.
And tell us geographically where you're based again.
So I'm in Adelaide, South Australia.
So people are coming in through the practice, through the clinic. So that's how they find you. And you're thinking of maybe doing a little bit more marketing for yourself? Yes, no, give me more.
Yeah, I will be. So I'm seeing a couple of Skype clients at the moment who live interstate. And that experience, particularly as I said, with young children, that is so great for, lifestyle. And I can, once the kids are in bed, it's really easy. So I'm definitely looking to expand the Skype part of my business.
Makes total sense, especially when you think about it these days. It's such an amazing opportunity. It's a pretty crazy opportunity that you could be a mom, you could have little ones at home, and you can technically do your work. And you're not and you're not even helping someone in your house. You're helping someone halfway across the world potentially, just because we do this over the computer, and everybody wins. That's amazing to me.
It's so true. And I get to wear my Ugg boots as well, which is nice.
Yeah, but when you're wearing your Ugg boots, do you actually show them on screen to the person you're working with, or do you just kind of keep it to yourself?
No, I generally keep it to myself, but the cat's out of the bag now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's like the whole, the whole Facebook universe knows now. So I was going to ask you where you see your professional life going, and is that it? Do you want to do more Skype clients in general? Are there any other directions you want to see your work and your practice going?
Definitely more Skype clients. I'm planning on creating a group program at the end of the year. And I'd love to write a book. I'm one of those people that, I've got lots of things that I'd like to do. So I get a bit impatient. But yeah, they're sort of my immediate plans, I guess, goals, aspirations.
And a book about?
A book about fertility, about supercharging, about sacrificing your life, basically. about the mind-body connection and how it relates to fertility. I'm also a trained hypnotherapist. And I've trained in so bringing all of that into it.
I just really love how you've combined your education that you received with us. You've combined your personal experience and your passion and your love and the places where you've had a breakthrough and you've essentially turned it into a career. Like, how great is that? It's
awesome. It is, honestly, it sounds so cliched, but I'm absolutely loving everything I'm doing at the moment. And I do sort of pinch myself and think, I can't believe that I'm doing this. I can't believe people pay me to help them when, you know, I'd do it anyway, kind of thing. It's very cool.
You know, I'm so inspired listening to you, especially, you know, I've probably had maybe over the years, and when I say over the years, I'm talking, you know, over the last 3 decades, I've probably had about 10 fertility clients. And, you know, my first fertility client, I had no idea what I was doing. But what I did know how to do was ask a lot of questions. And what I did know how to do was listen to what they already tried and what the medical profession tried with them and for them and recommended to them. And there was still no success. And I started piecing it together and hearing the anxiety, the angst, the fear, the stress. I thought, that can't be good.
Exactly.
That can't be conducive to creating a life. So I started working with the place that seemed most beneficial. You know, that plus obviously cleaning up somebody's diet, cleaning up their health habits, you know, handling those pieces. I've probably been about 10 out of 10 with those clients. They all eventually, you know, carried a child and successfully gave birth. And I've got to say, arguably my most memorable experiences, because when you help somebody create life and that's what they want to do, that's a good deed, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the thing is, you know, you were saying about cleaning up diet and that sort of thing. Most of my clients, they already know what to, they're motivated, sort of ambitious women. They've seen, you know, nutritionists and dietitians and naturopaths and, you know, they're sort of doing, so yeah, they just don't know what else they could be doing. And yeah, that's when I come in and work on exactly the stress and the angst. And often there is stress around the eating, which is exactly what I experienced. Or they're taking 10 different supplements a day, or they're juggling a million different appointments. So yeah, it is. It's striking a balance between all of that.
One of the people listening in, Miss Rachel Gill, says this would be such a powerful book. Your passion is beautiful. And also, Christine, thank you for your comments. And Nat Ingram is tuning in from New South Wales, Australia. And Nat, you know, feel free to reach out to our team if you're interested in the training. And, you know, we have payment plans. So, and by the way, Nat, thanks for your comments. Much appreciated. You know, make sure, Miss Melanie, that you get to check out some of the comments after we get off the interview. So I just want to say I really appreciate what you've done. I'm honored that we could be in the same universe and that you trained with us and that you're doing such great work in the world. I just want to say congrats again.
Thank you. Well, I can't say thank you enough to you, because I what my life would be like, honestly, if I hadn't done your training at the time. I was really in this sort of downward spiral of sort of stress and control, and your course was what, and not only did it snap me. I'm absolutely convinced that that's why I got pregnant. And I'm also convinced that I am just 10 times a better mother than I would have been if I had gotten pregnant when I originally started trying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about that all the time now. I think I'm okay with uncertainty, and I'm okay with letting go of control, which you have to be with young children. Like you really have to be.
Yeah. How true.
Yeah. If I'd got pregnant, before I'd done your course, I don't know, I would be a lot more stressed right now. I know that for sure. Whereas, roll with uncertainty. So yeah, and then when you think of the flow-on effects of the fact that I'm now helping other women do the same, really honestly it all started with thank you.
Thanks for the kind words. I so appreciate it. And for anybody listening in, if you're interested in the training, enrollment for our next one is in full swing. Just reach out to us at info@psychologyofeating.com, info@psychologyofeating.com. We'll be happy to set you up with an enrollment advisor over the phone to have a chat, or we'll answer your question by emails, or we can tell you when our next free online webinar is for the Eating Psychology Coach Mind Body Nutrition Certification Training. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so glad we had this conversation, Melanie. And how can people find you?
They can go to my website, which is melaniecolwell.com, or find me on Facebook, Melanie Colwell, Fertility Coach.
Yay, and hopefully you could see the spelling of Melanie's last name, Colwell. So, yay. Well, may you help many more people, many more women, and whoever's right for you to serve. Once again, congrats on some great work, and thanks everybody for tuning in from Facebook Universe. I really appreciate it. Take care, Miss Melanie.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.